Welcome to Lesson 3.4 of your Dynamic Small Business Search course. In the previous lesson, we took a look at which NAICS our competitors thought are the right ones to sell our products and services. In this lesson, we're going to take a look at the Federal Procurement Data System, or FPDS, and analyze previous contracts to see which NAICS were used. If you're updating your DSBS checklist as you go along through each lesson, then currently you have a list of NAICS codes that you and your competitors think are the right ones. Now we're going to see what the government buyer thinks. Let me go ahead and I'm going to switch back over to a browser. Okay, so right now this looks similar to a previous lesson where on the left-hand side underneath the word code here, I have all of my NAICS codes listed. Just makes it easier for me to look at it. Here's the Federal Procurement Data System. And you can see it's right up here, it's fpds.gov. That's how you get to it. This is the home page. I'm not teaching you anything about this, but right here in easy search, you can type in something. And here, I already put in communication and outreach. I'm trying to tell FPDS that I want them to find me contracts that have both communication and outreach. So let me go ahead and hit enter on that. And so when it comes back in here, this is the results. There's a lot. I know it's small font. I'm going to scale in for a second. The first thing I'm going to do is come over here on this sort by section over here, sort by. It automatically comes descending, and I want to find descending date signed, which what it did was it just sorted this entire list of hundreds, if not thousands of opportunities by the most recent date. And so you can see, I'm going to scroll in here for you. You can see that the date is starting with September 7th. So, there was a contract that was awarded. Now, this one's going to be interesting because this tool is bouncing back and forth. So you'll have to bear with me as we go forward. I'm going to be scrolling down, and what I'm looking for are ones that are catching my eye that look something similar to what I do. I'm not really going to be telling you about the ones I'm skipping. I just want to kind of keep on moving down until I see something that looks a little bit relevant, and then we can click on it. And if it says action obligation 0, I'll probably skip that, or I'll generally skip it. Unless, of course, it fits in. So here's one. Let me just pick this one. The NAICS code is 54163. That's what I do. I'm going to click on this view button. And the reason I'm doing this one is because the contracting agency is ICE. It's DHS. It's an organization I want to work with. Let me move this over so you can see it. Hold on a second. Okay, so when it comes through, this is the results that comes in, and you get to see it. I'm going to scroll down fast. I mentioned contracting agency is ICE, and that's important to me. It's right here in DC, and it's the type of stuff I want to do. Now I'm just going to jump down really quick to where you need to go, in this section called product or service information. So in here, what I'm looking for always is the description of requirement. This is what contracting officers put in, so it varies across the entire federal government. It varies in the exact same agency depending on a contracting officer. That's fine, it is what it is, but if you're lucky, you find something like this where it says ICE-wide, so the agency-wide outreach and communication support services. That's exactly the type of work I want to do. And so it's 641613 is the NAICS they awarded this on, and I'm looking over here to see if I have it, and I do, and that's good to go. So we're going to do this about 5 or 10 times. Let me go back. Here's the results. The one unfortunate thing here is it makes you have to resort it. I'm going to see if I can't open it in a new tab. We'll figure that out in a second. All right, so here's this is interesting. U.S. Customs Border Protection, and it says advertising agencies, which is interesting. I'm curious on why, though, so I want to go look at that. Let me see if it'll let me open a new tab. It doesn't let me open a new tab, so I'm going to go through that sorting activity each time. Remember what I said, I'm going to scroll all the way down until I get to the description. I want to see what the work is. See here, look at this. Procure communication and outreach services for this campaign they're doing out there. Well, that's exactly the type of work I'd like to do. And the NAICS code is 541810, and I do not have that. If you've been watching the activity we've been doing on the other lessons, I'm looking at my DSBS checklist, and I see that I also didn't see that on my competitors. So I'm going to go ahead and write that one down, 4841810, and that's that one I'm putting in for sure, because that clearly is how the government buys it at this particular agency. Let me back up and go to our list again, and I have to resort it by date signed. I'm going to scroll down. I know it's a little harder for you to see, but that's all right. I'm trying to scroll fast and then get down. I'll slow down when we really get to certain things. So this is all DHS. It was ICE, then it was Custom and Border Protection. Now it's FEMA. That's also DHS. But this one says Engineering Services. I'm going to skip on that one because even if it is in there, it's not the space I want to be in. So, but here, Administrative Management and General Management Consulting Services for USAID, and this is a $3 million contract, right? So let's go see if I could have won a $3 million contract. Like, did I even have the right NAICS listed? I'm going to scroll down to the description. Here it is, and I'll share. Okay, so this activity's objective is to provide services and support to enable 4 offices to improve staff knowledge, skills and ability, knowledge creation, capture, use, and share knowledge. This is exactly what I would love to be doing. Improve development impact. So this is exactly what I'd love to be doing. So now I need to scroll up a little bit and see what did they use. They put this under 541611. 541611. Fortunately, I do have that, so that's great. One other interesting thing, just as long as you're here, I'm trying to find the name of this opportunity. Sorry, I should have had this one a little bit. That's the vendor. By the way, this is the vendor. I'll just say this as a quick note. You can always get this later. But this vendor is near me. I can call them up. They got a $3 million contract. I can call them up. Here's their phone number and try to strike an agreement with them that says, I'd love to subcontract if possible. It's a T&M, so time and material contract. You can see in here. And again, I'm not trying to teach it. I'm just trying to. Okay, I'm sorry. It took a while for me to find it. But right here, they just typed in that. Oh, that was the wrong one too. I'm sorry, bouncing around there a little bit. But I didn't. I was looking for the title they used, and I don't see it at all. But this one's good enough. This description that was in there was really helpful. So let me do this again. That was with the USAID. I'm going to sort this again. I'm going to scroll down here. So that was this guy, USAID, at this level. I'm going to come on down. Here's a 14,000 custom. I'm trying to find a different organization. These are all veteran affair type things. So here's one. State Department, other general support. I'm curious on what it is. Oh, no, I'm going to skip it because it says foreign awardees, so they awarded it to somebody else. But marketing consulting services. Let's see what this one was. Oh, it might be that same one. Actually, I think this is the same one. Yes, it's the ICE-wide communication right there. I'm going to do one more. I saw a large prime contractor had won a contract down here. CSRA right here. So CSRA won a contract. That's NASA, but there's another one that I saw farther down. Here it is. Again, 750 with NASA. Let's see what this one is, because generally this stuff should go to small business. I'm going to scroll down really quick and then go to the description. Okay, so this contract is to provide high-end computing and data support, as well as general support services. Access, this is computing, store. Okay, so it's really is IT, and that's not me. So let me back out. It's hard because some of these get into it's so varied. I think I was down about this area, 750. I was. So we'll keep coming down. Marketing and consulting services. I'm trying to stay away from ICE because we've already looked at how they do it. And NASA, ICE. It is interesting to see who's using communication and outreach. So that was February. There's not a lot of people who've been buying that. I might pause for a second. Let's just do this again, and let's try social media. How about social media like this? And you want to be doing the same thing. You want to do your research. I'm going to say date signed, and now I'll scroll in so you can see it. So this is FBI, and I wrote in social media, so let's see what they got. I clicked on it. There's a lot of stuff up on top, but we're trying to get down here. Okay, so this one is, they're just trying to disseminate information, but this one I should have noticed it's a software product. So I'm going to skip that. Sort it by date signed. I'll zoom in so you can see it. And then let's keep coming down. You've got these broadcasting boards. Here's FEMA. They're pretty small. I want to see. Here's Centers for CDC. So let me take a look at this one. This is interesting. So it's social media, but the NAICS they went to was college, university, and schools. Let me see why. You know, what was the work that they were doing? Okay, so this one's way above my pay grade. They're doing mental health, machine learning algorithms. Just happens to be social media. Let me go ahead and say date signed. And I'll zoom in here again for you. Let's take a look at this last one. Department of Education. It's a $2 million contract, which is awesome. And it was just awarded in August. Let's go ahead and see what it was. So here's the information. It's a BPA for the government to dissemination services, including planning, project management, brand implementation, rollout, paid social media. This would have been stuff I'd like to do. In fact, I think I actually might have competed on this with somebody else. But this type of stuff, I look in and a couple things, right? You'll see me talk about this later, but it's got good keywords that I want to be paying attention to, like strategic message development. But this one looks like one I'd want to win, so I just want to make sure I have the NAICS 541613, and I do. So if this had come out, we're good to go. Let me go ahead and pause you right there for 1 second. I'll flip over here to the PowerPoint. Just wanted to point out again that we went through the federal procurement data system as we looked at contracts that were awarded out there, and you can go back for several years. I would recommend you go through this for at least an hour, right? I'm pretty used to doing this, but at least an hour to find out and make sure that if you wanted to win a particular contract, do you have the NAICS listed that contract was awarded under? And that's the reason we went through FPDS to take a look at that. It's telling you not the NAICS that you think they should use, but the NAICS that should be used by the contracting officers and the ones that are defined by that buyer. So that concludes lesson 3.4. Remember to stop, do this for your own company before moving on. Go ahead and update your DSBS checklist, and I'll see you on the next lesson.